I love is that a real set? It looks like a green screen, like extravaganza.
It's Luke. First of all, I'm gonna have such a hard time not speaking in an Australian accent tonight. I'm gonna do my best. No, I bought a neon sign and I slapped on some wallpaper and I made a little corner of my home.
It's great, because that word, you can't really read what it says so that you can't get in trouble for it.
Exactly. And we're 4 episodes in, and I have yet to invert it in post-production. So
yeah,
I'm
and
just
don't,
a total piece of shit,
don't because TikTok is like, bad words. We take it down if it's been too rude. And so, yeah, leave it like that.
Luke! Okay, wait. I'm so happy you're here. Luke and I have been friends on TikTok for a hot minute, and I went down the Luke rabbit hole today. Guys, everybody, this is Luke Cook. If you don't know, now you know. You need to follow him. And guys, welcome to another episode of Bullshittery Podcast. I'm so excited. And Luke, thank you for being here. I'm a huge fan.
Well, I'm a huge fan of yours, and thanks so much for having me. I am seeing that I'm quite dewy because I worked out only about an hour ago, and I just look too dewy. So I just want to tap down a little bit.
Yeah, I worked out about an hour ago too.
Well, you look extravagant, and I look ridiculous. I just look a bit dewy. Just a bit much.
Okay. I'm extremely shiny because I'm just always sweating. So we're going to be dewy together.
Please.
The brothers.
Please.
The Doobie brothers,
Indeed. Look at these people. These cute people. Hi, Allison. Hi. We're glistening. You're right.
Maybe that'll be the episode title, just Dewy.
Or glistening. Somebody just was like, they say that you say glistening in the South. We're glistening.
We're glistening, baby. You're just a glistening little dewdrop,
Where are you? Are you in New York?
I am in New York. Are you in LA?
I'm in LA. Why do you live in New York?
Well, I was in New York City. Now I'm in the Hudson Valley. But I am moving to LA in like January or February. And I'm really excited about it.
It's a good idea. It's much sunnier here.
Well, that's my main reason. I can't do winter anymore. Like the 4 p.m. darkness this past year gave me seasonal depression like never before.
Yep.
So
that's a real thing. It's a weird thing in LA because you have a great amount of vitamin D still and you're depressed on top of it.
So it's like a win-win.
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
No, actually, I needed somebody to like tell me to get out there. So thank you. Thank you. I feel good. Like it's the time, and why not? You only live once.
Same level of crime, just it's nicer weather.
And you know what? Like I love it. I love to be surrounded by danger and just like the thrill of fear. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, good. I mean, the great thing is you can book any number of shows out here and maybe get shot. Both.
I just think it's so important to like constantly be on your toes, and that's part of being an actor. You really have to like think on your feet a lot.
So true. Yes, and
Exactly. Luke, this is a good. And when I get out there, we can collaborate and we can make shit together.
I would love to do that because I've never collabed with any TikToker in person. I've only ever done like me and Brody Wellmaker. I send videos to him and he edits them and like puts them together. God bless him. And it's like, this is so stupid. Like we should really, like you shouldn't be. He's in Atlanta.
He's in Atlanta?
Why? Oh.
I thought he was in LA for sure.
No, he's in Atlanta. He should be in LA. Anyway, God bless him. I know he's taking a break right now for his mental health, which is a good idea. When was the last time you took one of those?
Oh, I don't do that. I'm too afraid. I just figure, you know what? With or without the app, my mental health's going to be shit anyway. So we might as well just keep plugging along.
I know what you mean. I wonder if he's watching TikTok. Like, because the thing for me is if I want to get off it for my mental health, I need to get off it, not even touch it. Like, look, I can't look at it. But he's not creating. That's what I want to know. Is he not creating or is he not even looking at social media?
You know what? I love that we're talking about Brody right now because I am such a big fan and there's I'm going to circle back to this because I do actually want to add Brody as like a story in the entertainment news section.
Yep.
Because I just admire him so much and like the whole like ADXM of it all, like I find TikTok is really weird. I know we're here right now doing the thing, but man, we can get into that a little bit, I think.
We can totally get into it. It's okay to be in a place like I love America, but I critique it.
Yeah.
I love Australia, but I critique it. I love LA, but I critique it. It's okay to like love something, but wish it was a little bit better. TikTok's a little bit like that. It's like, I love you. Why don't you help me do anything else?
I know.
And then even doing TikTok, you still don't really help me. You know what I mean?
It's like a psychological game. It like they make you think that things are really happening, but then things aren't really happening, you know?
Yes. And I do feel there's a shift, like, with people like yourself, you've got a huge following, and so does Brody, and all these people who have huge followings, and they're not happy. And I see it more and more now because I'm following along with them, and everyone's posting things about how TikTok kind of messes with them, like isn't nice to them.
No, it's a relationship.
But everybody's starting to feel this way. I don't necessarily feel that way yet because I haven't gone through it with you guys. I mean, you guys have you have a really large following, and I think you've been here for longer. So you're actually like going, and you've known better times in the app. The app has shifted, right? It's changed in the last few months. Have you felt that?
Insanely so. And you know what's so funny? Because this is another little segment I'm going to do later. I saw Bodies last night. Have you seen it yet?
I haven't, no.
Well, so it's a very like Gen Z TikTok kind of heavy movie, and I literally got nostalgic because one of the sounds that like is in the movie is like bored in the house and I'm in the house bored in the house. You remember that? Were you on at that time? And I was like, oh my god, the good old days, like when TikTok like didn't like nothing mattered, you know?
Yeah.
And I think, like, not to get so into it, like, right away, but I think part of it, too, is, like, when you're an actor on this app, it just kind of takes a different toll on you, and you kind of, like, give a little bit more of a shit because you're like, oh, this is, like, for my career, you know? But then you start to kind of realize that, like, no, you have to keep doing things outside of it. Like, it's like a vacuum, you know? But it's a very misleading kind of thing.
Well, because the dopamine hit from producing a great video and putting it out is bigger than a hit from doing a great audition, because you send an audition tape in and you're like, oh, I did it, that's great, right. I did a great job. 99.9% of the time you do not hear back about that self-tape. That's the nature of the business. But with that, so the dopamine hit is smaller. So then you're like, okay, so where's my priority at? I get more sustenance out of this app than I do out of chasing the acting. And so you're like, but that's why I tell you, I mean, I'd give anybody this advice, and I have to give it to myself sometimes. It's like, Luke, don't pay attention to TikTok. It is not your priority. Your priority has to be chasing this dream. Your auditions and self-tapes are of the highest priority, and then producing content is secondary. But it's hard.
It is, and it's really hard. Like, especially, I feel like for me, like, I am, I did a lot of theater. And now I'm really trying to transition into film and TV. I'm actually pinned right now for a role, so fingers crossed, everybody. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. But, I got my manager through TikTok, and, like, all of these things, all these opportunities came in through TikTok. So it's kind of like this mind-warpy kind of thing where it's like, I need to hold on to, like, no, I am an actor, and that's all I've ever wanted to do. But then, like, the world of influencer kind of blends in, and it's like, who am I? Like, it's really weird.
Yeah, but it's such a great medium to be able to spread what you do. I mean, I that's why I got into creating in the first place, was just going like, oh my gosh, I really want to be able to put what I do out there and use all my energy on this good thing rather than wait for the call that tells me I have an audition. Like, F that. I want to be doing, like, monologues, silly scenes, sketches, like all the time.
Yes. And it's so nice because we actually have power and control. And like, if you don't know, as actors, guys, we have no control ever.
Yes.
Until we're on set. And then but it is funny, and it's so gratifying when you know that, like, it was your original idea, and then people are like, this is great. And you're like, am I great or something? Like, it works,
Yes. Oh, damn, like that's it. You always makes you feel great. Makes you feel like you're incredible.
It's validating. And we don't always get that,
No, it's really, and that's why it's really nice because it's up to us. We get to like create exactly what we want to create, put it out to the universe, and people are like, love it or they hate it. Sometimes they hate it, sometimes they love it, and when they love it, it feels really bloody good. And that's important to hold on to those little morsels of hope and those little reasons why you should. Thank you. I just got jizzed on with hearts. Give me a pearl. Can anyone give me a pearl necklace? Let me know.
Oh.
Is you hold into these little morsels of hope, and that's what keeps you going in your career. You know, like that's what, like, you're like, oh, I got a manager. Oh, now I'm on pin for something. Oh, I've got a performance this coming weekend. Or, oh, I could nail this TikTok video. All those little morsels of hope are why you keep going.
Yeah, no, and I do like like even you and like me sitting here, like being able to meet you and talk to you. And like, I feel like TikTok has been so cool about introducing me to other weirdos out there. And like my people, like I'm seeing a show tomorrow with my friend Erica, who I met on TikTok. And it's just like, it is really cool in terms of that too.
She's funny, man. She's really funny. Erica Priscilla?
Yeah, Erica Priscilla. She's so good.
She's very good, man. Far out. Is she an actor?
I don't really know. I think like she is. I think that I don't really know. Oh, we got a cowboy hat going on.
She could be an actor. That's what's what's crazy about these people, like these stars who were born on here, the Drew Afolos, or I don't even know how to pronounce her name. Is it like they're such personalities that they could indeed be actors, but they're just people who like create. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's the dopest shit. Oh my God, you're getting loaded over there, guys. Can you send me some stuff? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Don't send me. It's fine. It's fine. Wait, we need to get into the Luke Cook of it all because you're literally a star. You're working. You're doing the thing. I'm just gonna read a few of your credits, one of which I could vomit. I'm so impressed with. So, Luke is an actor. Okay. He was Lucifer on Sabrina reboot. Iconic. He's recurring on Dynasty. His feature film debut was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Iconic. But my personal favorite of all these credits, I pulled all these from his IMDb, so if you want to go research more, please do. You freaking starred opposite Al Pacino and Judith Light in a play called God Looked Away. That makes me want to puke. Like, that is insanely iconic.
And, you know, like, that was an amazing, amazing experience to get to see, like, Pacino forget his lines. And you go, oh, you're like me. And at the beginning, and the crazy thing about Pacino is he'll be reading the script, right? Like when you do a reading, like he was doing that, and he wasn't good because he didn't.
Really?
And there was a huge theater full of people just to see the reading, right? We hadn't even put it up on its feet yet. Huge theater full of people, and he was like, he was just reading it to himself. He just wanted to hear it himself. He didn't give a F about anybody. I was like, that is so impressive. Wow. And then I figured out over time, I was like, is this guy like this because he's Al Pacino? And then I asked the director who'd done a number of things with him, and he goes, no, Pacino is always like that. Pacino doesn't give an F about anybody. He will never lie. He just doesn't lie. He's always 100% like truthful. So he won't like for me, I fake it till I make it all the time with acting. Like I fake it. Yeah. He doesn't fake it till he makes it. Refuses.
He just makes it. He just makes it. He is Dog Day Afternoon is one of my favorite movies of all time. I mean, he is like Serpico. He is such an icon. Was it?
Yes.
Did you love it? Did you love every minute with him?
Oh yeah, he's hilarious. Well, what would happen with rehearsals is he'd come, he'd show up on time every day, knew everybody's name, and then we're just 10 minutes of him doing like almost stand up. You know, he just want to fucking chat and make everyone laugh. And so the first 10 minutes of rehearsal was just him shooting. It was so much fun. And so like, and you kind of felt like he needed to get it off his chest because he always wanted to do comedy. That's the thing about Pacino. Not a lot of people know. He really always wanted to be the funny guy, but he never got to do those roles because he was always wanted for this and that. Serpico, Dog Day Afternoon, Godfather, like never got to be the funny guy. So he kind of lets that out when he comes and he goes like, all right, 10 minutes before this rehearsal goes, let me crack some jokes. And he nails it. He's so funny.
That is the most like beautiful thing. I mean, he's such a beautiful person to watch on screen, but to know that he's genuinely like an awesome person in real life. I totally believe it. There's not a doubt in my mind that because you can tell he just loves it. Like, he's doing what he loves, and I love it.
Also, he he would come with lunch, and he would. I remember once we'd have our lunch break, and he pulled out of his pocket, and I'm like, "How long has that been in your pocket? Like broccoli florets?"
No, the smell.
He's eccentric, like he's interesting, and like I was like, he just pulled them out. I'm like, "Have you had those broccoli florets in your pocket the whole waiting for lunch?"
What did he say?
I don't know. I couldn't figure. He didn't say. I didn't ask him. I was just like,
oh, I wish you had.
I didn't want to be rude. I was like, okay. I mean, I don't think it's not the lack of hygiene for me. I don't give a crap about that stuff. Yeah. It's just like, did you really put broccoli florets in your pocket before you left the house?
What a legend. Like, that's how I want to be. I want to keep everyone around me on their toes at all times.
Yes.
Somebody sent me a video, my friend Richie on here, he sent me a video of somebody accepting an Oscar, and she was just breakdancing. Or no, it was like an award in like Ireland, and he was like, I could totally see you doing this. And I'm like, thank you. Like, I'm so glad, because I would do that shit. Like, I want to be so dumb all the time. That's what life's about.
Have you practiced your Oscars speech?
No, I think I bullshit my way through everything that I do. I never script out anything, so I think it's best to just wait for the moment and just kind of wing it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I've had a few different thoughts on that. I've got the really great one that's really wise, like Matthew McConaughey versions, and the other version is like, to everybody who doubted me, I hope you're simmering in your embarrassment right now, like that one, where I even have a list of names of all the people who've, like, you know, turned me down, rejected me across the years. Like, just like, I have that version as well. But wait, I want to ask you something. You just said that you don't script your stuff. Are you talking about, like, even on here, you do 2-person things, like you play both of the characters? You don't script that?
No, I've never scripted anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a good thing and a bad thing, because I love improvising, and I love, like, I switch back and forth, you know, and I'm kind of a total maniac, you know, in a good way.
Yeah.
But I think it's also laziness, you know, like, if I sit there and learn a line, I feel like it's not going to come out as authentically than if I were just to off the cuff it, you know?
Right. It's the classic Meryl Streep thing. I always think about this is don't over rehearse. Yeah. Like, always be like kind of loose, but you just like, but that's Meryl Streep. I mean, we're talking about somebody who, like, with August Osage County, I don't know if you ever heard this, but she came to the table read knowing all of her lines, and she didn't pick up the script. When everyone's doing the reading, she's just sitting there without a script, blasting out like the lines. And so it's like, okay, well, there's an element like, yeah, you don't want to over rehearse, but like, you're also like the greatest ever. So, you know, well, I think maybe the rest of us need a little bit more rehearsal than you.
I think that I'm kind of the next Meryl Streep, you know, like I'm up to bat.
Am I allowed to laugh at that, or like, are you serious?
You can laugh, but I'm serious. No, I mean, I'm not serious, but I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to aim to be the best possible thing. That's good. Like, I've kind of let that go personally. I should probably remind myself of that at times. Like, I'm more than happy at this point just to earn a living being an actor rather than being an Oscar winner. I think, like, it's like there is a universe where that could occur, where I'm even nominated. But the other thing is, like, I'm perfectly happy being just a run-of-the-mill TV person who makes enough money to put food on the table and never wins any awards. I'm more than happy for that to be the case too.
No, and you know what? It's funny because I feel exactly the same way in a lot of ways. Like, it almost, fame and like the idea of walking down the street and not being able to is kind of something that I never really want. But I just want to work, you know? I just want to work and be at a level where people like want to work with me. And it's just recurring, and it's like making the living and having a, you know, being comfortable and all that. You just want to do the work, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that looks like, to be honest. Like, I don't know I was thinking before, because I was doing it right before this, I was making a Hugh Grant video, and I was like, what's it like being Hugh Grant? Like, you can't walk down the street in a normal way. What just happened? What's off the screen?
My cat is like jumping on the screen. Hey, can you not? I don't know what's happening over there, but he's okay. Anyway,
I love cats very much. No, I was just thinking, like, what is it like for Julia Roberts, Hugh Grant? People think like these people who can't walk down the street where they're so famous. Like, what's it like? And do you like? Are you like, well, we only live once. It'd be really interesting to know what that feels like.
I know, and it's because, but once you feel it, can you go back? You know, it's like once you've reached that level, I don't think there is no decline really. I mean,
here's what I thought. I was like, I'm 35, right? I'm like, I've done the thing where nobody recognizes you when you walk down the street. I've had a few people recognize me from time to time as well.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I think I've got it. Like, I felt what it's like to have nobody notice you when you walk down the street. I'm like, I think I can go the opposite. Let's have a go at that too.
Well, and I feel like especially now with TikTok and like you have such a big Instagram following too, like you must get like, are you that guy from TikTok? Are you Luke Cook? Like,
you'd be amazed. Like, nobody stops me for Instagram. Nobody stops me for acting. Everyone stops me because of TikTok. Like, yeah. And I'm like, wait, I used to have a bigger following on Instagram. Now I have a bigger following on TikTok, but no one would ever stop me for it. Yeah. TikTok, for some reason, and adults too, fully grown adults, like out with their friends having dinner, like not 18 to 24-year-olds like everyone thinks. It's like people in their 30s are like, hey, I just want to let you know your TikToks are great. And I'm like, I love it. I'm like, thank you so much.
No, I love that too. And honestly, like some of my favorite followers are the people and the men and women that are like 40, 50, 60. Like, I know I've like done something right when like the older, not even that much older, but older than me, like me, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, that's who I want, you know?
Yeah, it's good. Well, it means you appeal to a broad range of people. Like, I have this guy who, he's clearly a gay man, and he tags me in cringy gay videos, like thirst trap videos. Yeah. But he's in his 60s, like, and he's just like, oh, Luke, I love this. And I'm like, I can't believe you're aware, like you're in your 60s, and you're aware like of what. And clearly he's getting all the gay content, but he's like tagging me in it all the time. And I'm like, this is a great follow-up. Very helpful. Thanks very much.
Stunning. He's just giving you content. Your For You page must be insane. Like,
well, actually, okay. I don't have a crazy For You page like everybody thinks. I just follow a few people on, there's an Instagram called Fave TikToks 420.
My favorite account. It's so good. I thought you might, because you post a lot of those ones. Yeah.
I take a lot of that, and then from there on, I trust my followers to just tag me in great stuff. There are things though that are like really disturbing and awful, like really kinky guys, like who spit at the camera and things like that. And I'm like, I wish I could take them down, but I am I here? Oh yeah, I think that my stuff works better when it's not mean. When it's actually just like, like, you know, it's cringy, but it's not like, I don't want to destroy your life. Exactly. I just want you to like be a little bit embarrassed.
Well, and it's nice because you've had a couple people who you've made fun of that like it. They love it, you know?
I'm now friends with like a guy named Jay Kochich, the tongue guy. You know?
Yes, I love it.
Him. I just had him on my podcast. He's amazing. I mean, you know, he's like, I know I can't say much about on live apparently, but he's on that naughty site, you know. Don't say it.
Oh yeah.
He's on that naughty site and he nails it. He makes so much money, and he's bisexual, but he has a girlfriend. And I was like, please, and it was on my podcast. He gave me all the information about what it's like to, you know, sleep with people and as your day job and come home to a partner who's supportive of you. And I'm like, how? Like, it's amazing. Like. And so I actually can't wait to release it, because he thought I was just going to roast him for an hour, and we ended up having a great, deep conversation.
I love that. I think there is a slight lag right now, but we're just going to power through it. It's fine.
Okay, Queen. Yep. Do you think?
Yeah, no, we're fine. It's just, I just noticed, I think there might be a little bit of a lag, but I think it's fine. We're not too far behind.
Can you do your Aussie accent for me, please?
Yeah, hope that was absolutely terrible.
All right.
I'm not really in practice, but I think if I try a bit, maybe I can do a little bit of it for you. I don't know if it's good or if it's horrible, you know, but
it's good. No, it's good. I can tell that within like a couple of like an hour of talking with Aussies, you'd have it down. I can tell it because it's right there. It's just little things here and there. But you know how to say like no, right? No.
No.
Yeah. That's the easiest. Like I see people do it mocking of Aussie all the time. They're like, no. And I'm like, yeah, it's good.
Like, nor. I'm like, no, it's not no. Whoa. I don't know what
Nor.
Yeah, people get like, you know, too into it. I like to like keep it light. Like, no, we're not going to go. We're not going to go.
Yeah, keep it light. Keep it light. See, Loight. So it's light.
Light.
And that would be a really Aussie person. Like, mate, switch the light on for us, would you? I'm going to go to the toilet.
Ooh. Wait, I have so many questions. We're skipping all the questions, but this is okay. This is organic. Okay. Yeah. I wanted to ask you, do you, as an Australian, are you kind of able to do, because I feel like Americans suck at accents, but anybody else with an accent can do any accent. Do you feel like you can do any accent?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much I can do most accents. Like, I struggle with the South African. Like, I'm not that, fuck. Okay, hold on. African. What I can do is my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law South. Luke, what are you doing, man? You're acting crazy. Okay, so I can do it South African, but I can't do the like white Afrikaans thing. You know, I struggle like with that a little bit. Yeah. But my wife is from New Zealand, and her mother-in-law is like very New Zealander, and so they speak like this. And that is just fantastic, Mackenzie. I have to tell you, I'd love a gin and tonic about now.
I love the New Zealand accent. It's so happy and like bright.
It really is. And it's a very confused accent. Like the vowels are very confusing.
I love that your wife is stunning, by the way.
I know. Super hot.
It shouldn't be legal to be that beautiful. Like,
I know. She's pregnant right now, and it's, for me,
congrats.
That's it. Like, that's just the hottest thing that there is.
Yeah.
Which I don't, yeah, anyway, she's so, it's just too much for me right now, actually. Wait, I'm not actually not coping.
Lipton is saying he loves you, and I need you to know. Lipton on my
Lippy?
Love
you. Lippo?
So just so you know.
Blessings.
I want to ask you a few questions before we get into like we have a couple segments, you know, we're going to talk about some news. When did you get into acting, and when did you come to the US? Double question.
I've been in the US for about 13 years, and I got into acting when I was in high school, just doing the plays in high school. And then when I left, I left school and went into, well, actually, I should tell you this. I got found to be a model. So I got found to be a model on the street, and I got sent to New York, and I did like, you know, Barcelona, I did Hamburg, the Philippines, like traveled, like it's a pretty fabulous life, but there's no skill required. And I really wanted to be an actor. So I stopped doing that and went to acting school. And then I moved to Los Angeles.
Nice. Was it straight to LA? Did you ever do New York?
I lived there. I lived in New York when I was modeling, but I never did acting or like try to chase the acting thing in New York. I knew I had to be here. I mean, as well as that, when I came here, I was like, oh, this is much nicer. Oh, I really like it here. And the first month in LA is like, isn't it amazing here? And then the first year is the worst year of your life because you don't have any friends, and it's a really anxious place. But then once you find a community, and you'll figure it out much easier than I was. I was 21, so I was pathetic. But once you find a community of people and friends, that's it, man. Like, you could stay here forever. I love it here.
Well, that's part of the beauty of TikTok too. Like, there's so many people that I've connected with now that are already out there that are like, get out here. And now I'm like, okay, well, listen, when I'm out there, I'm not going to leave you alone. So just be prepared.
No, you are absolutely welcome to reach out and come and have dinner with us. And I will take care of you as much as I can. But I'll be a father of 2 then. So you'll have to leave me alone at some point.
Father of 3, you know? You and your wife can just adopt me.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you have 3 kids. I was like,
oh, God,
you're kidding.
Just 2 cats for me, thanks.
Yeah, but it's just that you seem very unstressed. I was like, no, there's no way in hell.
No, I still have that youthful glow, you know?
You do.
It's just the dew, but we're going to call it. It's just sweat, but it's mine. So you get on TikTok? When did you get on here, and what was the motivation?
I suppose it, like, at first I was like, oh, F that. It's so lame. And then and I was watching it and I was like, well, this is exactly what I do. It's just over here. And I'm like, people are getting like praise over here for what I'm doing over there. It's like, and so I started to like, still like, I was like, nah. And then I don't know, eventually I was like, oh, we'll just get on it. I'll just start putting the stuff that I put on Instagram on TikTok. And then I started spending more and more time and realizing how good TikTok was, in the sense that you could see, like, on Instagram, it's like, oh, let's just boost the Kardashians. That's what we'll do. On TikTok, it's like, let me boost this couple from Boise, Idaho, who danced the cha-cha, who were in their 60s. And I get to see that, and we get to celebrate. Like, I'm trying to make you laugh, you're trying to make me laugh. And whoever does that the best wins. And that's a good competition. I'll be a part of that.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun. It can be toxic, but overall, it's fun.
How long have you been on it? You must have been on it for ages.
I got on during the pandemic, like
right.
whenever I was doing it, but I didn't really. It was February of 2021 that the virality hit. That's when I started doing the childhood ruin stuff. So it's been like a year and 4 months of like really doing it,
Right. And that's what made you get to millions, is that childhood one?
Yeah, it was really wild. I think that I hit 1 million in like a month. Like it was insane. But I was like, it was just that. Like I was putting that video out every day, and it's for sure slowed down because I varied my content, and I really didn't want to get boxed into that.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like totally random. I think a lot of people were like thinking I'm this historian and like I'm just like I know all this stuff. I'm like, I really don't know anything, but I research stuff, and I have a dark humor, and it just kind of twisted into that. But yeah, but now I just vomit out a bunch of random shit all the time,
Yeah, and there is merit to just doing one thing a lot and really well. Like, Celeste Barber, do you know her on Instagram?
Oh, yeah, she's great. Yeah.
Yeah, she's very funny, but she just does one thing, and she does it over and over again. And now she has which doesn't on here, but on Instagram she has 8 million followers, and she gets work. Like she books, like she hangs out with famous people. Like people love her like crazy. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of go like, I always think about that. I'm like, oh, maybe it is a good idea to just do one thing over and over again. But then I'm like, for me, it's boring. I'm like, I want to do everything.
No, exactly. And I don't know, is she an actress?
Yeah, she was an actress like before she'd even started doing that. And now she's on a couple of Netflix shows that are coming out in Australia, like Australian Netflix shows. And I have no doubt that she's going to, just because she's connected, man, people love her. Like all these famous people follow her. It's like, it's pretty amazing.
Is she Australian or English?
She's Aussie.
Now see, and I feel like Australian people and English people, like, you guys have this charisma that Americans just kind of lack overall, I think. And I don't know. That's just my perception as an American, I think.
Yeah, that's nonsense. I mean, you have charisma. I mean, I think that Ryan Gosling has more charisma than any person alive. Like, I really do think that he blows me away. Whenever I watch him, I'm like, mate.
Yeah.
I there's a part of me that like wants to hate him, but it's like, you are so good. I cannot. You're so good. Like, you're just endlessly, incredibly relaxed and enjoyable to watch. That's pure charisma. So, yeah, I mean, all in all, okay, like what, per capita, maybe there's less charisma, here than there is there. But no, I don't see it. It's like talking about which country makes the best actors. By the way, it's England.
They make the best accents?
Actors.
Oh, 100%.
There's no doubt.
There's so much about the craft of it, like the actual thoughtfulness of it, and like they buckle down and they devote and the thing of it is too, I feel like in America, our celebrity, the way that we idolize people is so much more, I feel, than, I mean, and I don't really know because I don't live there, but I just feel like even like with the Kardashians and like all, like we put actors on this pedestal where I feel like they in England, like one of my favorite shows is the show Misfits. They literally will just find people on the street and put them in front of a camera and be like they're just they don't give a shit, And I feel like that's so cool.
Well, I think I watched The Crown. When I first saw The Crown, I was like, okay, they're the best. There's no doubt. And the reason I thought that was because you'd have a guy come in to deliver one line, and it was like, That's not an actor. That's a real butler in the house in the castle. Like I was just like, that isn't like they're all incredible. You can't fault them, any of them. Hi Jody, how are you? Hi Simona, I see you. I see you, girl. Hey Josh, love you too. Oh Josh, you're from Foster in Australia. Far out. I love you. Sorry.
And I have
Foster's like this little town that we holiday at in up the coast in Australia. It's beautiful. Hey Josh, love you.
No, and while we're shouting people out, one of my best friends in the whole world, Carly, just said, love you, babe. And she's having her baby on Friday. So we need
Carly.
For Carly.
Hey, Cara, bring him in here.
I love you, Carly.
Okay. Put a shirt on him. Don't do that. TikTok's weird.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you got to have your baby fully clothed. Hi, Megan. Yeah. Oh, my God. 2 of my friends are here. Hi, guys. Okay, wait. I had another question. So you do a lot of comedy, obviously, but you also, like, you were on Sabrina as fucking Lucifer and Dynasty. Like, you do these dramatic roles. What are you most drawn to? Like, what do you love to do the most?
The thing is about the drama that, like, I know that I can do comedy, but drama is always such a challenge. So I enjoy the drama for the challenge, but I'm still looking to book a big job that's very, very comedic. I haven't yet booked that job. My TikTok and Instagram is really where that all comes out. But in my professional work, for some reason, I don't get to do that very much at all. So I'm looking forward to that day where I get to be fun, like, really be funny on TV or in a movie.
Wait, have you watched, side note, have you watched House of the Dragon?
Yeah, I watched the first one. Yeah, what you think?
I really liked it. Did you not? Were you not so crazy about it?
No, I mean, they're great actors. Matt Smith, I think, is sensational. That guy, he's so good. So I'm looking forward to seeing how evil he could possibly be. And how good is it? It's honestly, it's an honor to be alive at a time when a show like that is happening. When you're just like, this is so good. I could relax and watch this over and over. However, like the first Game of Thrones, I got so bored, man. I was like, I stopped watching it week to week, and I was like, I'm just going to binge it. It's much better that way. That way, You can't hold me on with this slow burn nonsense. I want to get it and watch the whole thing at once and be nobody sees me for 2 days, like that.
Totally. No, and I think that you would be a great Targaryen too, by the way. You have an accent. Let's get you on Game of Thrones. I can be a Targaryen too. We can be like the cousins,
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't know why they're not calling us. They're idiots. Clearly,
it's really their mistake, and I think they're gonna live to regret it.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And what other questions have you got there for me? Because I'm really wondering what's that question sheet.
I got a million.
Wow, you got questions.
I'm gonna have to bring you back, but I'm going to be doing season 2 live and in person. So I'm going to bring you back for a studio in-person episode, and then we can...
Oh, I want that. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be fabulous. I have a million questions, but I also have segments. So we'll just kind of get to the big question. Actually, somebody wanted to know this as well. Who is, like, your dream person to work with, if you could work with any actor?
Jim Carrey, Will Ferrell, Ricky Gervais.
Oh, Ricky Gervais. Iconic. Hi!
Can you wave? He's really good at that.
What a star!
You're hating this, aren't you?
The camera loves you, kid.
Bye. That was a great cameo.
Oh, that was stunning. 10 out of 10. Send gifts. Okay, wow. I could literally talk to you for hours. But we're gonna get, I have a couple news segments. One of them I'm gonna cut because time, and we've already talked about House of the Dragon. Basically, it's the most watched show ever for a first episode on HBO. And I can't wait to see what's coming next. E-News. Okay, this is a very dumb story, but it was an article that was an audio article, so I just wanted to read it in the voice that I read it in, that it was already read in. Okay, it's about Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is ready to dive in and skim the dating pool. A few weeks after news broke that Kim and Pete have called it quits on their romance, a source exclusively tells E! News that Kim is ready to begin dating again and asks, who should she date next? The answer to that question, only time will tell. That's my e-news voice. So
It's really good. And you should be booking work just with that stupid voice. Like, and where? Who is she going to date next?
literally, I'm not joking, guys. Go to that article on e-news. That's exactly what it sounds like. And I don't know where I feel like the world's not real, and I don't know. I've never met anyone who actually sounds like that. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Scary.
but yeah, people somewhere do. What is this segment? Is this a segment? Is it just where
Yeah.
you read e-news?
An entertainment news segment. I have three stories that I like to touch upon each week, just to keep it culturally relevant. You know what I mean?
Got it. And then who is she going to date next, do you think, though?
Kim expresses she's ready to date someone older, but it has to be the right person who understands her life. She isn't compromising her freedom right now. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's a great thing to be like. It's like, I want a relationship, but I don't want to compromise anything. Well, it's like, yeah, well, you just maybe don't need a relationship then, eh?
It's also, you're the richest woman. Like, you're good. You know what I mean? I feel like anything you do it's going to be fine ultimately, you know?
Yeah, and also like, yeah, you're not going to have to compromise like anything. You have 10 nannies or probably 20. So it's like, it's not like you don't even compromise for your children. I mean, not to be judgy, but it's like, what are you talking about compromise? Your life is perfect.
Love-hate relationship, you know? It's just, you know. I mostly love.
I love Kim. She's hot as anything. I also love her. I'm not judging. However, you're not going to compromise for a partner. Don't worry. You're going to have, like, even if you maybe get a nanny for the partner too.
Hey, never say never. Okay. This one's really exciting to me. Are you familiar with Kate Berlant?
Kate Berlant?
Yeah, Kate Berlant. She's a comedian. She's got a new show coming out. It's going to be a live in-person theater show called Kate. And it's going to be, I believe, off Broadway. And Bo Burnham is directing it, and I'm so excited about it.
Oh, that's sick. Bo Burnham is awesome.
I love him. I want him to direct my one-woman show when it comes. So, Bo, if you're listening, come on.
He's not. He takes care of his mental health. He's not on TikTok.
I think that's part of what I love about him so much. He's another one who doesn't really give a shit, you know?
Would that be your celebrity crush?
No, my celebrity crush right now is Nicholas Braun on Succession.
Oh, Succession, yeah. Sensation. That's a great choice.
Yeah. I feel like I have a shot. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I can see that. I can see that happening. You two would meld well together in a bedroom situation.
I think so. Like, we'd be bantering throughout. Like, we'd be like shooting the shit, and like, that's what I want, you know?
Well, I just can't help but think that he'd be his character. He'd be Greg. He'd be cousin Greg in bed, which would be like awkward and nice.
I'll role play as Tom, and then we'll just we'll work it out. I'm obsessed with Succession. I think it's the best show ever. But
it is a great show. I love it.
And okay, I'm gonna skip the other story because I want to touch on the Brody Wellmaker-ness of it all, because I really feel like I love him, and there's a lot of like talk right now about his departure. I looked up his name, and people are making videos about what they think about him charging money for it and everything like that. I applaud him. Like, honestly, like, I think that my perspective is he's an actor with 21 million followers. I think that it was like a smart risk to really gauge what that held, like the weight of that. And it's all free. You know, everything we do on here is free. And he is one of the like creators that I feel like he really puts time and effort into his content. Like, he produces that shit, you know? Like, I just point and shoot, but he's like coloring and using professional equipment, and like, so I wish, you know, I understand why people don't want to spend the money, but I also wish that we were a little bit more like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to spend it because you've given me so much other free stuff. But it's a
yeah, I know. I mean, it's hard. It is a super.
Oh, you froze.
Sorry. It's a super hard transition no matter what. Like, even if you're, you know, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so like if you're transitioning from TikTok where you make all this funny content and then you're like, now here's a short film that's like futuristic and stuff like that. It's like that's hard. People are
Yeah.
going to be like, what's going on? Just do the thing where you are your mum, do that one mum thing that you do. And that's really a difficult thing to like try and balance all that. So I feel sorry for him, but I do think it's a hard thing to tackle. Is how to transition away from this TikTok 1 minute making you laugh thing to something completely different.
Yeah. It's so tricky. And I hope that, like, because I've dealt with, like, mental, like, moments of, like, oh, my God, like, what am I doing? Like, am I failing? Is this good? Is it bad? Like, what am I doing? Like, and I hope that he doesn't stop. I hope that he's not discouraged, like, to the point where he's going to, like, stop doing it, you know?
No, he has to do it. He's made to do it. And he won't stop. I don't know what his attitude exactly is right now. If he's kind of, like, chucking a hissy fit or he's like, I'm going to do something that's going to change the game. If he gets on Patreon or something and try and finds a way where he's like, you want my content, you can pay for it. I'm getting off TikTok or something.
Yeah.
But you know, either way, he can't quit, mate. When you like him, it's like you're not going anywhere, bro. What are you going to do? Accounting or something? Forget about it.
I know. It's a really wild balance. And like I said earlier, like, if you're a person who you're not an actor and you're not really seeking this out as like a life profession, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know, if you're not seeking, like, this app is so much lighter. It takes so much less a toll than I think if, like, I know for me, I'm always thinking like, oh, who's going to see this? Is somebody going to see this and then want to cast me? And like, it's constantly this kind of mental, like, it's just a really weird thing, you know, for actors. But it's
I have the opposite thing where I think, oh, if people see this who cast, they'll never cast me. I think like it's like this is it. Personally, I think TikTok for me and my content is just I always wonder if it's just a big detriment to my career. Like it's great to have a large following, but like honestly, like I just posted a thing where I'm dressed all in leather with a little leather hat like a kink machine. And I'm like, this isn't good if I want to one day play Superman or Bond or something. But I'm like, well, it's okay to like let that go because it's still who I am. So F them. If they don't like it and they're like, well, he did do a kinky thing on TikTok once. It's like, well, F you. I mean, I don't want to work for you anyway.
Yeah. And that was one of the questions I had too, is do you think that because you were, you know, already established as a working actor before hopping on this platform, do you think that it's helped or hindered your professional career in any way, or has it even crossed paths?
I don't know if it's helped or hindered. I have no clue. But I do know that when you see all these big actors or these big celebrities getting on TikTok now and going, hey, I'm here, and everyone's like, fuck off. Well, like, it's like their team has told them TikTok's important. So like, it probably will mean something later when something's like it comes between me and another guy for a job, and they'll be like, yeah, but Luke has over 1 million on TikTok. He has a big following. And they'll be like, yep, Luke, that'll be the person. But that conversation hasn't happened yet. So,
and it's really interesting because I feel like there's like this line almost, and I don't know where the line is, where it's like, do you when you reach a certain number of followers, are you then too big on the internet to be taken seriously for a role? Like, would it more distract than it would help the production? You know, it's this weird time.
I've wondered that too. I'm just going to charge my phone, so I'm not ignoring you. But yes, I've wondered that too. Where like even for someone like Brody, where you go like, okay, well maybe he's too well known on the internet, so that like, or he's too well followed. So I don't know what it could be.
It's really weird, and I think only time will tell. I think we're just going to have to wait and see.
Exactly. Now I'm charging my phone, and this is an awkward position, but I feel like we're about to kiss a little bit.
You're right on top of me.
Hey, this is an awkward POV. It's like one of those POV guys like, hey, baby, good morning.
I know.
I want you to stay in bed, okay? There's a guy named Danny Han TV. Have you seen him?
Oh, I don't know.
He's cringy. He's so cringy, but he does these acts. He does these like this plays. Like he does this one. He goes, good morning, baby. I'm making you breakfast. I want you to sleep in today, okay?
Oh, yes, I have seen this hooker. Yeah.
It's hideous. It makes me want to be sick.
Now, are these people for real? Like, because I almost wonder sometimes if I'm just being punked. Like, has humor just taken this, like, this turn? And I'm just like, it's so meta that it's like, because, wow. Because it's really crazy that there are people making this kind of content. But then you see the comments, and these women in the comments are like, I love you, like all these heart eye emojis, and I'm like, guys, we're not okay.
Yes, I know. You know the guy, baby girl. What's the one in the car that he's always making things in his car? Enoch. Okay, now Enoch, like there was a question. Caitlin Riley was like, "Oh, I think he's a jokester and he's brilliant." And I'm like, "No, I'm sorry, he's not kidding. He's for real as anything." And now he thinks that because this is happening, maybe he can be like people are making a joke out of him, but he's legitimately trying to stir up sexual emotions from women.
No, and there's also, I don't know if you've seen this Wall Street pop star guy. Have you seen him? Because that's also.
Oh, I love him. I follow him too. What's his name?
Michael.
I don't know if he's for real. I think that he could be. Somebody said that he's a genius to me. Another friend said that guy's a genius. I'm like, I just don't know how you can live a lie like that. Like, what's that classic comedian who Jim Carrey played? He just would live in.
Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman, yeah, exactly. I'm like, that's brilliant and really hard to do. And I don't think any like MFer on the street could just go ahead and do that like these guys are. I'm like, this guy is living online as this character, and I don't believe that it's fake. I think he's for real.
Because it reaches a point, doesn't it, where it's like, it's the first couple videos and you're like, okay, maybe he's like messing with me. But then it's across all platforms. Like it is. But there's a few people, like there's that other guy too who's like a rapper. And he sings like this, and he's always singing like this, and he's like dead serious, I think.
Well, there's a jokester. Did you see the guy in the car recently who's like driving, and then I think about her, and then I'm like,
no, yes.
Him, he's fake. He's very funny.
Oh, he's fake?
He's really funny. Like I was watching and I was like, no, this guy's really funny.
See, I've already established myself too much, but I think I need to like social experiment a little bit. I need to maybe start doing some of these things,
Yeah, get out there and have a look at them. But like people keep tagging me in his videos. I'm like, guys, I'm not making a joke on a joke. He's funny. Like he's not being for real.
Yeah, because then you're the idiot. It's
exactly. Yeah. Like, yeah, he's nailing it. That guy, he's so funny. I don't know. He does this. He just did a really funny one where he's like POV, like you see me, I'm the hot guy in church, and he's like singing and like he looks over like, it's brilliant.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that makes me so happy. And like yes. That's what I wonder sometimes. Like, and I love that I know that for sure. But even like Gen Z humor, I love Gen Z. I really do. I know they don't like millennials, but you know what? We love you, so love us back, okay? Because I love their humor. I think that they're so witty and smart, and they don't really give a fuck. Which I'm like, good on you,
Yeah, I mean, I think that. I mean, look, if I was to say that I don't like Gen Z and don't like their humor, I'd be like, well, I'm just taking part of it being on TikTok. All of the things that I mock, all of the trends that I do are all started by Gen Z. So like, yeah. I have to agree with you. You're right. Our generation didn't really start any humor really. Like, what did we do? I think we had some YouTube stars and I was never into that. So what did we actually do?
But wait, I also have to touch on your podcast because we need to support podcasts here. I had a question. Let me make sure hold on a minute. One little second, baby. Hold on 1 second. We're going to pull it up. Oh, the Zaddy Zone. The Zaddy Zone. Let's talk about it. When did you
The Zaddy Zone, yeah. It's a new podcast. It's been around for 3 or 4 months now. I love making them. I hate having to sell them though. Like I'm like, hey everyone, come listen. I'm like, ugh, I hate this. But it's what you have to do. It's a health and wellness podcast. But it's light. So it's me interviewing experts in their field in health and wellness. And then I have just, I have social commentators, psychologists, therapists. I just had a life coach on, and I posted a video about her today, and she's very anti-political correctness. And so, like, talking about things like that too. And I had my guy Jay Kochich on too, the tongue of TikTok. So it's not just, I don't really know where it's going to go. But how do you do this bullshittery thing? Because this is, do you then, can people come watch this later? How does it work?
Yeah, so what I do, so my whole thing was I wanted to start it on TikTok because that was where, that's where my biggest audience is. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
I'm going to be moving to LA in January where I'm going to be doing it in person, but I also didn't want to just sit on the idea for another 4 months. So I decided, okay, I'm going to start it live on TikTok. And then what I do is I upload this video to YouTube tomorrow and then the audio on all of the podcast platforms. So the quality isn't the audio quality is not as impeccable as it will be too. But I just wanted to get it out there, and start the podcast on TikTok as an homage to the mother who made me,
Yeah, that's good. As you should. That's a great idea. I love that.
Thank you. Well, I was, it's funny. Have you ever seen Web Therapy with Lisa Kudrow?
No.
So it's like a mockumentary. She's one of my favorites. But your podcast, you could do, if you really wanted to, you should do a couple mock episodes where it's you have a fake expert on there and just fuck around. So if you ever want to play, let me know.
Wow, that's a fun idea. I'd never thought of that. See, my producer was like, do you ever want to be like any of your characters, like Louise or any of these people, and come and do a bit? I'm like, well, but I wouldn't want to embarrass an expert and have them on my show and ask some stupid questions. But that is exactly how you would do that. What you just said is having fake experts on. Yeah. That would be very, very funny.
Yeah, because it's it's because Web Therapy, she plays. If you haven't watched Web Therapy, guys, you have to watch it. It's on. I think you can watch it. I think it was on HBO, but you can probably find it anywhere. She plays a therapist who does therapy online with celebrities, and the celebrities play themselves. But she's this therapist, but it's just terrible. It's terrible therapy. It's kind of like a Between Two Ferns kind of vibe, where it's just
love it,
messy as hell. We didn't do one last little segment we have to touch upon before we end. Is our recommendation station. What are you watching right now, or a book or a movie that you just need to recommend?
I watched South Park post-COVID, the movie, the other night.
Nice.
Brilliant. It's very right now and offensive, and that happens to be my type of thing. And then I'm watching a show called Blackbird right now with Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And the acting is fantastic. And there's a guy in there. He was in I, Tonya, and he is blowing me away. Taron's great, but this other guy who plays the serial killer, I can't stop watching him. I just think he's magnificent. It's one of some of the best acting I've seen. He's never done acting like this before. I've seen him in other movies. I'm like, yeah, whatever, that guy. But now I'm like, who is this guy?
Oh, okay. I'm the fifth person to recommend that show to me. So it's done. It's done. We're going to watch it.
It's good. Yeah, it's jailhouse drama. You're going to see fights and stabbings and things like that. It's pretty sick.
No, I love it. I love violence,
Yes.
My recommendation is it's not adult, but anything Mindy Kaling touches, I think, is just so supreme. And I think everyone should watch Never Have I Ever. It's so cute and it's just so well done. And I just love her, and Sex Lives of College Girls, because they're both just great shows.
Okay, is that Mindy Kaling as well? Mindy Kaling produces Never Have I Ever.
I think she.
Okay, I'll have to give that a watch.
Writes them too, maybe with a partner, but yeah.
Of course, well, she is brilliant. My friend was on Sex Lives of College Girls, Gavin Leatherwood. He's the sexy guy.
Oh, nice! Oh shit, nice.
He's very sexy.
We love a sexy guy. Tell him I said hi.
I will.
Oh, and my friend Victor Carlesi says, I love these freaks.
Thanks, Victor. We love you. Hey, Simona. I said Blackbird. You've got to watch Blackbird. That's my TV recommendation.
Oh, God. This was just the best. And we've run out of time, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to wrap it up. But let's first get all your socials. Where are you? Where can we find you? tell us all the dates.
I'm on Instagram and I've got a newsletter. TheLukeCook.com is where you can find the newsletter, all my information, the podcast, and on Instagram, The Luke Cook, just like here. TheLukeCook.com, though, is my website.
Nice. Luke, you're seriously the best. This was the best. I can't wait to see you in person and do this again in person. It's going to be a blast.
Yes, please. Let me know when you're here, and we're going to you can come over for ribs.
Hell yeah! We love a rib.
Okay.
Mwah.
See you, darling.
Guys, and listen, if you're here right now, this is a podcast. We're going to be everywhere. It's going to be everywhere tomorrow. Luke has peaced out. I love you, Luke. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you, and please go subscribe. The link is in my bio. Love you guys. Thank you so much for saying my accent was good. I really appreciate that. I love all of you guys so much. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you soon. Bye.